Good morning, eighth grade. Today is Wednesday, March 24th. It is a Win Wednesday. I just wanted to go over the Canvas assignment and also share my screen and read aloud the poem that is the assignment for today. Please use it if you feel it is a tool to listen and go through as I read. And then I will also go through the questions and highlight anything that I feel might need some clarification on. So I'm going to share my screen. You are going to log on to Canvas and you will see that the assignment for Mr. Yoder's ELA class today is the poem The Bells by Edgar Allan Poe. Okay, so I went to the assignments. I found today's date, which is March 24th. And you will see that the title of the poem we are going to read is The Bells. Okay, the assignment today is to read The Bells by Edgar Allan Poe. And then you are going to answer 4 questions about The Bells by Edgar Allan Poe. And you are going to show us and think and remember what theme is portrayed in the poem. Okay, so you are going to choose which theme you think best represents the poem from these 4 choices that I will read to you. And then you are going to go back to the poem and cite 2 pieces of textual evidence to show why your choice is correct. So you are going to pick one of these 4 themes that Mr. Yoder has given you as a choice. And you are going to say, the theme that is best represented in the poem, The Bells by Edgar Allan Poe is, and you are going to pick one of these. Is it the 4 seasons are represented, the mournful noises bells make, life is a journey toward death, the joyful sound that bells make? You are going to pick one theme that after we read it, you think is demonstrated in the poem. And then you don't stop there. You have to go back into the poem and find 2 pieces of evidence that show that your answer and your theme is correct. So I just wanted to go over the assignment with you. Now I'm going to click on the link and I will read the poem, and please follow along as I read. All right, just Salvatore has to make this a little bit bigger. Okay. Okay, let's do this. Okay, here we go. I don't believe I can highlight as I follow along. So please follow along with me as I read. The Bells by Edgar Allan Poe. Hear the sledges with the bells, silver bells. What a world of merriment their melody foretells. How they tinkle, tinkle, tinkle in the icy air of night. While the stars that oversprinkle all the heavens seem to twinkle with a crystalline delight, keeping time, time, time in a sort of runic rhyme to the tin, tin, tin jubilation that so musically wells from the bells, 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 from the jingling and the tinkling of the bells. Hear the mellow wedding bells, golden bells. What a world of happiness their harmony foretells. Through the balmy air of night, how they ring out their delight. From the molten golden notes and all in tune, what a liquid ditty floats to the turtle dove that listens while she gloats on the moon. Oh, from out the sounding cells, what a gush of euphony voluminously wells. How it swells, how it dwells on the future, how it tells of the rapture that impels to the swinging and the ringing of the bells, 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 of the bells, 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 to the rhyming and the chiming of the bells. Hear the loud alarming bells, brazen bells, what a tale of terror now their turbulency tells. In the startled ear of night, how they scream out their affright, too much horrified to speak. They can only shriek, shriek, out of tune, in a clamorous appealing to the mercy of the fire, in a mad expulsion with a deaf and frantic fire, leaping higher, 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 with a desperate desire and a resolute endeavor. Now to sit or never, by the side of the pale-faced moon. Oh, the bells, 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 what a tale their terror tells of despair. How they clang and clash and roar. What a horror they outpour on the bosom of the palpitating air. Yet the ear it fully knows by the twanging and the clanging, how the danger ebbs and flows. Yet the ear distinctly tells in the jangling and the wrangling, how the danger sinks and swells by the sinking or the swelling in the anger of the bells, of the bells, of the bells, 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 in the clamor and the clangor of the bells. Hear the tolling of the bells, iron bells, what a world of solemn thought their monody compels. In the silence of the night, how we shiver with affright at the melancholy menace of their tone. For every sound that floats from the rust within their throats is a groan. And the people, ah, the people, they that dwell up in the steeple, all alone, and who tolling, 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 in that muffled monotone, feel a glory in so rolling on the human heart a stone. They are neither man nor woman, they are neither brute nor human. They are ghouls, and their king it is who tolls, and he rolls, 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 rolls. A paean from the bells, and his merry bosom swells with the paean of the bells, and he dances and he yells, keeping time, 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 in a sort of runic rhyme, to the paean of the bells, keeping time, 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 in a sort of runic rhyme, to the throbbing of the bells, 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 to the sobbing of the bells, keeping time, 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 as he knells, 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 in a happy runic rhyme, to the rolling of the bells, 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 to the tolling of the bells, 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 to the moaning and the groaning of the bells. That is the end of the poem. There are some big words. So the first thing that I would do is, if there are some words that you don't know, definitely talk to me about it so we can figure it out. But the question that I would ask you is, from the beginning, is there a change in tone? And how do you know that? So we're introduced to the bells at the beginning, and they're talking about stars and heaven and delight. So bells are a good thing, right? What could that symbolize? Like when people are born, right? It's a very joyous occasion. Bells can mean celebrate great things. And then we see in the second part, wedding bells. And wedding bells, you know, they talk about turtle doves and peace and golden notes and molten, and we're still talking about these happy times that the wedding bells bring. And then what happens when we get to part 3, it's saying what a tale of terror, when things are turbulent, when things are disturbed, right? horrified and screaming. What could those bells be talking about? We're talking about, we see mad and words like clamorous and fire. And these bells now are not showcasing or telling us about happy things that happen in life. What a tale of terror, despair, they clang, they clash and roar. So danger, clanging, twanging, these are all things that bells and can signal to us, but it is no longer happy things. And we can see right here before he goes into his repetition of the bells, 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 he says, danger sinks and swells. So when someone is in danger or in turmoil, we can hear the anger of the bells. When we're going through hard times, those bells. And then when we look at part 4, again, we're still talking about the bells, but now the words that are standing out to me are silent, and we shiver with fright. Solemn, which is another word for very sad. Melancholy, menace. So the tone is not happy anymore. People dwell in the steeple. So think about them being in the church. Now they're all alone. The heart is a stone. Thinking about that. So what could possibly be happening in this 4th part? We're still hearing the bells. If they're in a church, and now the last line, to the moaning and the groaning of the bells. So this could symbolize someone passing, right? Because usually the way that we are brought into this world and celebrated, usually there is a service to honor us as we leave. And the bells are showing us that they can be rung as we're introduced to life, as we're going through life, getting married and celebrating those happy things. And then bells are usually rung and used when we're angry or our life is facing a challenge, right? And then at the end, it is showing how the bells still symbolize how we can be feeling, and we can conclude that it's talking about death. Okay, so that is the poem. I hope this was helpful. I want to keep this as quick as possible, but I just want to go back. So thinking about that, we just read it, and I picked out some keywords, things that I feel like the different parts represented. You have to pick one theme now that best describes the bells by Edgar Allan Poe. Is it the 4 seasons are represented? The mournful noises bells make? Life is a journey toward death? The joyful sounds that bells make. So which one is the best choice? And then you need to go back and give two pieces of evidence. So please, I'm going to share my screen and just get you started with a few sentence stems if you need it. Okay, so the assignment was pick the theme that best describes the bells by Edgar Allan Poe, and then cite 2 pieces of evidence from the text or poem. Okay, so this is what is being asked of you for the assignment. A great way that you should start it is the theme that best describes bells by Edgar Allan Poe is, and then you will pick one of them that are listed. Okay, so I'm just going to put some lines here. So if I felt that going back to Mr. Yoder's canvas, if I felt that this was the best answer, this is going to go in the blank where the lines are. So, but you have to pick which one. Pick which one, and that is going to go where I put the lines to get you started with your writing. And then now you need to use some transition words and go back to the poem to show that that is your best answer and your evidence to support that. So let me go back to my blackboard here. Where did it go? There we go. You will type it in there and then make sure you have some transitions. The poem states, and then you will go back to the poem, make sure you put the quotes and find what it says. The poem states we could say, all right, if you are picking the 4 seasons as your answer, it doesn't matter. You're finding a line or two that supports it, okay? The peeing from the bells and his merry bosom swells. If that's what you feel like proves your point, you need 2 sentences. So transitions, quotes are needed, citing your evidence, and then make sure you tie it all together and you have a concluding sentence. You have a nice, meaty 8th grade paragraph to cite your evidence and to introduce your theme and why you think that. So I'm going to come off of share. That is all for me today. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please reach out. I am also available during office hours and I'd be happy to help you. All right, 8th grade, good luck with your assignment and have a great day.